Hello everyone. Okay, hope you guys can see me and also can sorry, you guys can see the screen and hear me. Okay, so any questions for me before I start? Okay, guys, just give me a minute. Okay, sure. Yes, please. Not the new inclusion. No, no. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so if no questions, let's move on to the next topic. So it's not a next topic. We do one more activity. Okay, so I think Shiva, I had a word with Shiva. He said, okay, the recording issue has been solved. So he will start sending you the recordings from now onwards. Alright. Did you got a recording of the day 1 and day 2? No, right? You didn't got any recordings still yet. Oh yeah. So I just had a word with him before this session and he said, okay, he's gonna send the recordings right today. All the day 3 recordings he will be sending you today. Even with the today's one too. Yeah, yes.
Arun, can you please send the yesterday's programs because we didn't get the yesterday's program?
Oh, okay. Okay, fine, sure. Oh, I missed out, I think. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's create a class. Sorry. Let's create a package as usual. So we are on to the day 4. So what? So let's create a activity. We take these entities all. Mm, First we create a class account. Then we create a class bank. Now what you have here, let me define a method deposit. These are your actions. You got a deposit, you got a withdraw. What we have, so first we need something called account number, which is an attribute. Balance, this is also an attribute. And deposit and withdraw. Right? Then you have a bank. We call it as create account. Fine, right? Okay. I think will be sufficient. Create account when you walk into a bank. Yes. Then there should be a deposit. Alright. I think I won't be defining these operations here. Deposit and withdraw. Let's define deposit. Then let's define withdraw. Then there should be a relationship, right? There should be a relationship between the bank and the account. Otherwise, how will I perform? Because there is an account class which will hold the account number and the balance. There is a bank class which will be performing the operations like creating an account, depositing and withdrawing. But where should I deposit and withdraw? I can deposit and withdraw on a particular account. So here I will have an account array because a bank may have many customers, right? A bank may have many customers. So I just put a restriction on the number of customers a bank possesses. I say this bank will allow only max of 30 customers. I don't entertain more than 30 customers in my bank now. So let's start creating this. First, let me create a class called account. And a class have the attributes. What attributes do you see for a class? There should be an account number. Now what is long? Long is a data type too. The way you have an int. Whereas the range of integer is very small, whereas the range of long is big. I mean, it is bigger than compared to your integer. Long represents integers group, and the memory, just give me a minute. All right. And memory size is 8 bytes. The memory size is 8 bytes. Then you got the balance. So account number and the balance. Right click, source, getters and setters. It's fine. Now I'm done with the class account. Then let me create a class called bank. Now I'm doing this stuff. I'm declaring an account array with maximum 30 customers or 30 accounts. Now I'm going to define operations like create account. So when somebody is coming to me and asking to open an account, so there should be some default balance, or you call it as an initial balance. In order to open an account, you should deposit some money with me. So here I am going. So when he comes to open an account with some money, after creating an account, I should return him the account number, so which I am doing it. Then he keep performing the deposit and withdraw. So whenever he want to deposit, he should help me with the account number, because into which account I need to deposit. Then he should also say what amount you want to deposit. Then it once comes to withdraw. Again, he has to specify from which account he gonna withdraw and what amount he wanted to withdraw. Then after withdrawing, I will be informing him that, hey, this is what the balance left in your account. After withdrawing, I will be telling him that this is what the balance left in your account. Right? So you have account.java, you also have a bank.java. Now the interesting part arises here. Right? I want to open an account. I want to open an account. So can any one of you like to say what all the things I need to check before I open an account for him?
Maybe name, age.
Okay, no, I'm not interested in all that information. I'm not interested in all the information. So my customer who walks in is eligible to open an account. But here I have a restriction that I allow only up to 30 customers. So what is the first thing I need to check?
So the limit is not exceed the 30?
Yeah, so I just first thing I need to check is whether easy beyond the 30th customer or still my 30th customer has not reached, right? So that is first thing I need to do. So first I have to ensure that easy falls in the first 30 or not. That is one thing. Second thing is whatever the balance, there should be some restriction, right? So people cannot deposit anything less than $5,000 or whatever. So there should be some initial balance. If somebody wants to open an account with me, he should have some deposit amount. So these two things I need to check. Okay. So first, let me do that. Here we go. So first thing is, my bank says, hey, you have to deposit a minimum of at least 3,000 or 5,000. So I check here, is the balance, or you can say opening balance. Oh, I'm sorry. If it is greater than equals, then I entertain him to open an account with us. Right. So this is one thing. Next thing is, I should check how many customers I have so far. I should check how many customers I have so far. Right. But here, what is my maximum capacity? 30. So my maximum capacity is 30, but how do I keep track of the number of customers? How do I keep track of the number of customers? So what I do is, I take a variable. What I do is, I take a variable to increment the array. I will take a variable to increment the array. Let's say int account counter. Right. Then the person who is trying to deposit, the person who is trying to open an account, right, got more than 5,000 or is trying to deposit more than 5,000 or equal to 5,000, then I can open an account for him. And I can only open an account though he has a money if he falls in the first 30. If that account counter is less than 30, or I can say my array.length. If it is less than 30, then I can open an account for him. So this is something you need to observe. Focus. Accounts of account counter is new account. So what is this? This is not array of objects. We were trying to talk about this one yesterday. Here I said earlier yesterday that if I am using a new operator, it's an object. Yesterday I said if I am using a new operator, it's an object. But while creating object, you don't follow the square braces. This is how you create objects. So I did what? Square braces. So this is not array of objects. Array of references. Accounts is an array of references. So into the first reference, what is my account counter value? 0. So into that first reference, I am creating an account object. Then after creating the account object, I will set the balance. Perfect. I will set the balance. Perfect. Now what about the account number? I should also issue an account number to the customer. But how do I do that? The account number should be generated. Account number should be generated. But how do I generate it? How do I generate it? This is the concern now. Because the balance will is something which customer says that, okay, hey, I want to deposit, I want to open my account with 5,000, or I want to open account with 10,000, or I want to open account with 20,000. But whereas when it comes to account number, the bank should issue the account number to the customer. The bank should issue the account number to the customer. So how do we do that? So what I do is, do you see something called set account number? The set account number doesn't make sense because customer don't set the account number. Account number is something which is generated. Yeah. Do you have a question?
Yeah. Can you explain this? The last step, can you please? Because why you are associating with the balance and the account number, the counter.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, the account counter is the how many accounts in that bank, right?
Yes, perfect. But if you see,
why you are the balance is the amount in the account, right?
Yes. Okay. So here, this is what my account, right? If you see,
okay.
This is the counter. Okay, this is array of 0. What is the account counter value? 0. So accounts is array.
Okay.
So, array of 0. Array of 0 is what? The first account folder.
Okay.
So when I say new account, so I opened an account for the very first customer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that very first customer balance is this, right? So it's not that I'm not. This is only what? This is the number. The number it is saying, and it is enclosed inside a square braces. So that indicates the customer, 0th customer.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
So you set the balance for him, but I'm just worried about the account number because account number will not be given by the customer.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what next is, so that's the reason I'm saying here, I said set balance, but I cannot say set account number. Why I cannot say set account number? Because customer don't choose the account number. Customer don't choose the account number. Our bank executive also don't have the permissions to give the to what we call it as the bank person. He will hand over the account number which is already existing. The bank fellow will hand over the account number which is already existing, right? So I don't need the set account number here. So I should have a mechanism to get that. So what I do is I'll try to generate an account number. Create long account number generator. So what I do is let me initialize it to some. Oh, what do you have here? Yeah, I got something over here. I think this will be too big, so let's take it to 1001 so that it is easy for operation. This is fine, but the concern is how this will be related. So what I do is, this is something public account. Now if you see, the method name is same as the class name. The method name is same as the class name. We call it as a constructor. A method which got the same name as class name is referred as constructor. A method which got the same name as class name is referred as constructor, and constructor gets invoked as soon as object is created. So no call needed. Normally a method executes when you call it. A method executes when we call. If you see here, I am calling set balance. So when I say set balance, this set balance method gets executed. Okay. The set balance method gets executed. But whereas, what about this method? This method got the same name as class name. So it doesn't need any special call. It gets executed automatically. It gets invoked as soon as I create object. I am creating an object over here. So when I create object, this constructor gets called automatically. Now what I am doing inside here, I just say, hey, my account number is going to be account number generator incremented by 1. Account number is you increment the account number generator. Account number generator was what? It was 1000. Now when I increment, it changes to 1001. Then my account number is 1001. Right? So when I create second object, now when I create first object, account number is 1001. But what happens when I create second object? Can you guess? What happens when I create second object?
It's again 1001.
Yeah, it becomes again 1001. But actually, what is my expectation? It should go to 1002, right? Right, that is what my expectation. So if my second customer comes, account number should be 1002. My third customer comes, account number should be 1003. Right. Account number should be 1003. Alright. But here what is happening? It is going back to the 1001 for every customer. The reason being, this is an instance member. This is an instance member. Instance members gets created or gets generated every time the object is created, right? Since they get generated every time the object is created, so what happens? Gets initialized back to 1000, and on increment gives 1001. Instead, I make it as a static. Static members gets created or generated only once, though you create n objects. So you can create as many objects as you want, but the static members are generated only once. Right? So they don't get initialized back to 0. So they don't get initialized back to 0 right? So since they don't get, when I say 0, they don't get initialized back to 1000. So on every increment, they produce a new value. So when I create first object, it is 1001. When I create second account, it is 1002. When I create third account, it is 1003. Right? So that is what the significance of your static members. So static members are generated only once, and they don't get initialized back to the value assigned. So on first initialization, the value is 1000, and later on when I keep calling the constructor, it gives me a different value. Whereas if I don't make it as a if I just make it as an instance, every time the account object is created, the account number generator will be created again. So when I increment, it comes to 1001. That is, all my customers will have the account number as 1001, but that doesn't make sense. So I make it as a static so that it gives me a new value every time an account object is created. Now since I create an account object, account number is already generated. So what I do is, after setting the balance, I return the account number to the customer. Right. If I am returning 0, that indicates that account object is not created. successful creation of account. Here fails to create account. Now here we go, the next job. So is there anything left on the account creation part, or did I complete it successfully? What do you think? Is there anything pending, or is it good? Alright. So let's do deposit then. Now when I want to deposit, the customer is going to help me an account number. Now first I need to search for this account number. First I need to search for this account number. I should check whether this account number exists or not. But where should I check for the existence of this account number? I should check whether this account number exists or not in the accounts array. Now the question is, do I need to search in the array of size 30, or do I need to search only till accounts counter? I repeat the question. Before I deposit, I should check whether account number exists or not. So in order to check whether account number exists or not, I need to search in the array. So do I need to search till the length of the array, or do I need to search only till the number of customers I have? So it's a new bank. So I may have a 30 customers or may not have a 30 customers. There may be 10 customers, there may be 15 customers, or there may be 5 customers. Just give me a minute. So there may be lesser customers also. So I need to search, right? So do I need to search till the length, or do I need to search till the number of customers I have? Of course, it doesn't make sense to search till the length of the array. It makes sense to search only till the number of customers you have. So if I have 5 customers, I repeat the loop for 5 times. Then I'm going to check here. If given account number is equal to the account number, when the condition matches, then you deposit. Otherwise you don't. So how do you do that? Once account number is found, or before account number you search for account number, check what is the amount. Is it a valid amount or not? If this amount is greater than 0, then only you perform the deposit. Otherwise you don't perform the deposit. So what I do is, this deposit method had a return type as void. Now I change the return type to int. If the amount is greater than 0, I perform, otherwise I return -1, or I return 0. 0 indicates not deposited. 0 indicates not deposited, and there can be a reason to it. It may be an invalid amount, or it can be an invalid account number. Right? So 0 means invalid amount. Let's assume invalid amount. So the deposit didn't happen. If the amount is greater than 0, I start searching for the account number in an array. I'm going from 0 to the less than the account counter. I'm not doing this Why I'm not doing this? Because I may have 30 customers or I may not have 30 customers. So I'm only going till account counter. Then for every cycle, I check whether the account number matches or not. If account number matches, and since amount is already greater than 0, I'm going to do a deposit. Or I'm going to do a deposit. How will I do it? It's very simple. Set the balance. So deposit is what? You add amount, right? So to the existing balance, you should add amount. That is your balance now. So what I'm doing here, when the account number matches, I get the balance. To that balance, I'm adding the amount, and that becomes my total balance. So I successfully deposited the amount. So I return 1. So when I return 1, that indicates that deposit happened. Deposited. If I am returning 0, that indicates that it can be an invalid amount or invalid account number. Or you can say, or account number does not exist. Whatever. Yeah, so let's take in status. I don't need a else here. Then let's say on successful deposit, status changes to 1. Return status. Now invalid amount, if the status is 0, it indicates invalid amount or invalid account number or account number does not exist. If the status is 1, that is successfully deposited. Now, similarly, there should be a withdraw. Now for withdraw also, I just want to tell you the status. For withdraw also, I just want to tell you the status, whether it is withdrawn or not. So again, I go back and check here. So amount should be greater than 0 for withdraw. Amount should be greater than 0 for withdraw. Then, and account number should exist. Then one more thing before I withdraw is, I should check whether there are sufficient funds or not. So what I do is, before I call set balance, I check here. Accounts of I, if an account number match, get the balance. If it is greater than amount, then you do this. Otherwise, you don't need to do that. If your balance is greater than the amount, then only you can deduct it, right? You can withdraw it. Otherwise, you cannot. It should be greater than or equal to. Then you can withdraw. Right? On successful withdraw, you change the status to 1. Otherwise, your status is still what? 0. So here again the same. Status 0 implies invalid amount or invalid account number or account number doesn't exist, or no funds, no money to withdraw, not sufficient money to withdraw. If the status is 1, then withdraw happened. So I successfully finished both the classes, bank.java and account.java. Now, while designing these classes, I ensured that there is no system.out.println over here. So this bank and account.java classes can be used in a standalone application, can be used in a web application, can be used in a Windows based application. So I can use them anywhere. Bank, I can use them in a bank, I can use them in a console based application, Windows based application, or web based application. That's the advantage of this. Let's get back and write a program to run the application. Let's say run the bank. So I'm going to have a while. I'm keeping it true. Then I prompt the message here. So option 1, open account. Option 2, deposit. Withdraw. That's it. 4 is to exit. Now, help me out. Do I need to create a bank object within the loop, or do I need to create outside a loop? Yeah. Yeah. Do I need to create
Outside the loop.
Yeah. Why outside the loop? Why not inside the loop?
Because we already have an array to store the multiple bank accounts, and if we create
Yes.
inside the loop, then we are just wasting memory space.
No, it's not about the memory wastage. A bank got 30 accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you create inside a loop, every time a loop repeats, a new bank object will be created, right?
Okay, right.
So if you create a new bank object, what about your accounts which you opened earlier?
Right.
You lose them. So one thing is, you said memory wastage concern, but that memory wastage concern doesn't even arise here, because as soon as you end the loop, you lose your bank data.
Right.
So when you cycle, the bank object is lost. When you come back, you create a new bank object.
Okay.
So the memory wastage is not happening, but the thing is, how long your data is being held. If you put the loop, if you create a bank object within the loop, every time you come, you create a new bank object. So the data which is entered in the previous cycle is lost. So I create this bank object outside. So when I end the main program, then the bank object is lost. So whatever the operations I will be performing on the same bank. If I keep it inside, every time it creates a new bank object. Let's do this now. So you have a bank object. So you have your options. So as we said, we need a scanner. I'm creating a scanner object. Again, I'm going to scan from the keyboard itself. I have a scanner object, right? Then I say enter option. Scanner dot next in. You got your case 1, case 2, case 3. We have not written the method for displaying. In case if I want to see the summary of the customer or check balance, so here I do. What is that? Balance inquiry. Public double get the balance. So if you want to say get the balance, you need to provide the account number. So again, as usual seen, I need to search for the existence of the account number. If the account number exists, then I should be able to return. Okay, you got if for okay. So when the account number exists, then I'll be returning accounts of I dot get balance. I'll be returning the balance amount. In case if the account number is not found, then I'll be returning -1. So that's it. If the account number is found, I return the balance. If the account number is not found, I return -1. So let me add one more option here. So option 4. Option 4 check balance. Option 5 is your exit. You got case 3, then you got a case 4, then you got a case 5. You got a break. So we don't need a break because when you say system.exit, it completely terminates the program execution. So on exit, it terminates the execution part. So you don't need to write a break for it. Even if you write, it will not have any impact because anyhow it's going to halt the operation. It just ends the execution part. Here I'll be writing invalid option. Now you've got your case 1. The case 1 is what? Opening an account. So how do we open an account? Simple. On the bank object, first we should ask the customer, enter amount to open the account. Then I'll say bank dot create account, scanner dot next double. Now when we say create account, what is the return type of the create account? It's long. So if I have to check is the account number 0 or not. If it is 0, account is not created. If account number not equal to 0, then you say CISO, congratulations, and here is your account number. Otherwise, I just give a message, fails to create an account for you. Then comes your case 2. Okay. So when it comes to what case 2 is deposit. So first thing I will ask him for an account number. Enter account number to which we need to deposit. Then say here account, enter account number and amount. Then here it's going to be in status, or you can say deposit status. For bank dot deposit scanner dot next long, then got scanner dot next double. So we just need to check what is the status. So the status is 0. So if it is not 0, it's deposit status. Then I give a message, deposited, else fails to deposit. Then comes the case 3, which is your withdraw. I'll say withdraw status. Successful. Oh, then say fails to withdraw. Here it's not a deposit, it's withdraw. Then you got the last. Just need to have account number. Not sure what did I return. Yeah, perfect. Double. Balance. Bank dot. Get the balance. You just need to pass account number. Then here we go. If balance equal to -1, then I give a message, account number not found. account number not found, else I just display the balance. So I'm done with the program. So let's run this. I want to open an account first. Okay, let's try to figure out this. Account number. There is no account existing. I'm trying to see this. Amount. It fails to deposit. Then I try to withdraw. It fails to withdraw. Open an account. Oh, it fails to create an account for you. You need to see what's the problem. Enter the amount. Yeah, okay. I entered 2000. Then I should create an account for me. Oh, perfect, right? It was correct. 5,000 it should be minimum. Okay. Congratulations, and here is your account number 1001. Enter your option. I want to do deposit. 1001 is my account number. Then I would like to add 3,000 more. What's wrong now? It says fails to deposit. 1001 is my account number, and I want to do deposit 1001, and 3,000 is something I would like to deposit. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, second option is deposit. Yeah, long and a double. Account number. Yeah, it's greater than 0. I is 0. I less than account counter. Oh, okay. I think I missed out something over here. In the bank.java, when I am creating account object, I should increment it. I should increment the account counter value, right? It should move on. That is not happening. Account counter plus plus. So you are opening an account for a customer, then your counter should be incremented for next customer. Otherwise, what happens when the next customer comes, it will be in the same position. So that was the problem. So let me open an account. Okay. The account number is going to be 1001. Our deposit. Yeah, it got deposited. I want to check the balance. Yeah, it's 9,000. Perfect. Yeah. Any questions or or is it good?
So it's good, Arun. You are running again, right? The while in the while loop you are doing.
Yeah. Can you come again? Yeah. This is what the while loop.
The options are
We are unable to hear you.
the first while loop is only run the options again, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Why you want to do that one? Because you want, is for the bank account, the customer will do again, maybe deposit or withdraw. For that one, they have to run this one again.
Oh, the reason being is because if I don't use a while, then I have to run the program completely, right?
Okay.
So if I run the program, then I will be losing the data what I entered before.
Okay.
See, if I don't put a while, then you want me to execute the program. So when I run the program, the bank object will be created new.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So every time it creates a new bank object, then if it creates a new bank object, I cannot access the data which I entered in the previous execution, because when you run the program, the data will be remaining. The moment you end the program execution, the data is lost. We are not storing the data permanently, right? We are not storing the data in a file, or we are not storing the data in a database. So when we
Yeah,
start,
that's what I want to ask, because we are not storing in any database.
Yes.
So how it will the account number where it will comes again, the increment and everything will
Yes.
come because of the while loop, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Alright, so this was a very simple assignment. Okay, there is one point I would like to highlight is the relationship between the bank and the account. The relationship between the bank and the account has a relationship. Bank has account. So the relationship between the bank class and account classes has a relationship. Bank has account. So we call it as bank has accounts. So the cardinality is one to many. A single bank can have multiple accounts. Alright. So we studied one relationship, that is has a relationship, right? A bank can have multiple accounts. Right? So what I would like to do is, I would like to add an assignment, right? I just want to complicate a bit, but it's more or less the same stuff. You got an account class. You're gonna have a customer class. You're gonna have a bank class. You're gonna have a run bank again. So difference gonna be your bank class will not have an account object now. Your bank class will have a customer array. And your customer class got an account. Then you can add a name. You can add a gender. I think that's fine. But you can also ask him for a social security number. and what your account will have. Now, your account class is gonna have balance, account number. Then you got your getter and setter. Then you got your customer. You can have account name, gender. So customer has an account. Now bank has multiple customers. The same assignment, but there is another layer to it. So as usual, you just need to define those operations for open account and deposit, withdraw, balance sheet. And you just take the same kind of stuff here. Private, static, long, account number, counter. And as I said earlier, there will be no set account number because customer don't choose his account number. A name, gender, and assistant customer will be provided, so you need a getter and setters to it. And whatever you just, so what are the concepts we discussed so far today? So I list down what all I covered today. So one is I discussed what is constructor. Then I spoke about the differences between the static. There are a lot of other differences. The differences between the static members and instance members. And we also spoke about a hazard relationship. Yeah. These are the things I spoke about. So you guys got any questions before I move further on to the another topic? Yes.
Yeah, Arun, I had a question on a separate topic. It was I was trying to create a class, and suppose the name of the class was Run Bank. And once I created the class and I ran it and everything, I wanted to change the name of the class. Suppose say Run Bank Now. So how do I do that?
This is how you do it. Right click, refactor, rename.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. So I'll not be picking up a very big topic. I'll be picking up a very small topic now. Okay. Do you have another question?
No.
So I'll be talking about the, how do we access static members and instance members. Alright, so let me quickly create a class called student, or anything. You can take any class name. Alright, and here. Let's not use student. Let me pick a class. Or I just say access demo. I just have one method. So I'm not stressing on private or public now. I just define some methods here. I just give a message. So I have a method. I just got a method name as instance member. There is no static keyword here. Now have another one with a static keyword. So I have a class. The class got a static member as well as an instance member. I got a class. The class got a static member as well as an instance member. Now within this, I'm defining a main method. In the same class, I'm defining a main method. Now if you see, when I try to access instance member, I see a red color mark, right? I see a red color mark, and when I take the mouse over, see, the class got one static member, one instance member, then I have a static main. Then from that main method, when I try to access, there is a red color mark. That is a compile time problem. So when I take the mouse over, it gives me a message. Cannot make a static reference to a non-static method. That is, your main method being a static, the main method being a static cannot access instance member of the same class. Let me write here, cannot access, or you can say main being static cannot access non-static member. Main being static cannot access not static member. But see, what I do is, I create an object in the main. Now on that object, I call the method. Now you don't see any red color marks. So main being static cannot access non-static member without object, whereas main being static can access non-static with object. Yeah. Whereas if you see this, main being static can access another static. Main being static can access another static. Main being static cannot access non-static without object, whereas can access non-static with object. Without object it cannot access, with object it can access for instance members. But for static members it can access directly. Why? The reason being, instance members are available only on object creation, whereas static members are available before any object creation. The reason, instance members are available only on object creation, whereas static members are available before any object creation. Static members are available before any object creation. So the point to remember, simple words, a static member can access another static member without any object. A static member can access instance members only with object. The reason, instance members are available only on object creation, whereas static members are available before any object creation. So what I accessed was inside a class. The main method was inside a class, if you see there. So I'm talking about the accessibility within the class. Now let me change this class name to a more meaningful name. Access with demo within. It's within the class. Now let me create another class. But this time my main method is not inside, it is outside. The main method is in separate class. Now I want to access static member and I also want to access instance member. So when you want to access static member, I try to do this. You don't get it, right? Because it's in a different class. But I can access it using class name and dot operator. Static members are accessed using what? Class name and dot operator. Using class name. But what about instance members? They are available only on object creation. So create object and access them. Create object and access them. Instance members are accessed using object. But there is one more point here, that what it is if I go back and put private keyword for them instead of public keyword, if I put private, you won't be accessing them. Private members are accessible only inside a class. So I'll talk about this access specifiers, private, public, later in when I discuss about inheritance. When I talk about inheritance, I'll be discussing about these things. What is the significance of private, significance of public, significance of protected. I'll talk about them later. Then one more quick small concept I would like to discuss. Overload. So if you see here, you will find public void say hello. There is a method. Focus. Again, observe. This is not allowed. No two methods can share the same name. No two methods can share the same name, but I prove the point wrong. Now you see, two methods are sharing the same name. So, no two methods can share the same name, point is invalid. More than one method can have the same name as long as there is a difference in the parameter. Now what is overloading? To be more specific, it's method overload. More than one method sharing same name with difference in parameters. This is allowed in Java. With difference in parameters. The difference can be a number or data type. The difference can be in number or maybe in data type. That is, it is with 0 argument. Now it is with 1 argument, right? So I can also have one more method with a this is change in parameter. Number. Oh sorry, the number is same, the data type is different. This is called overloading. Yep. Yeah. I would like to stop here. If you have any questions, we will discuss. Otherwise, we stop here. We'll continue in the next session. The questions can be related to today or maybe, okay. Yeah. Yes.
Arun, can you please send all the programs, Arun?
Yeah, I'll do right away. I missed out last day, but I'll send all the programs later.
Okay.
Alright. Alright then. Okay. So thank you. Catch you in the next session.
Thank you, Arun.